Podcasting to the universe.
From the top of Mount Wack.
Live with no pants.
Here's Zach DeWack.
Greetings, red-blooded verified Earth people and those with no check mark. It's me, the always dapper podcast babbler, your daddy-o cock block for the radio, and the Wookie on the mic. You're running that semi-professionally trained tongue of mine. I am Zachary Ernesto Wagalina III. Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome to those of you in any city, to Helsinki, Milwaukee, to Nagasaki, and all around the world.
I will go and stay, and I will take you with me!
This is the often secluded, never diluted, always wacky, never tacky, hot rockin' flamethrower DeWack in the morning show. Live from the low-rent, sleazy, and measly Raymond Jam and Nut Hut studios here at the DeWack Shack Podcasting Megaplex at Peachtree Industrial here in FEMA Region Number 4, somewhere on the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia.
Ooh.
Live out of Studio B today.
Hey, Big Daddy, how are you?
Last time I checked, today is Friday, June the 13th, 2025, show number 125. Let's take a look at that birthday list. Aaron Taylor Johnson, an actor known for the Kick-Ass films and Bullet Train, is 35. Twin actresses Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen celebrating their 39th birthday. Kat Dennings, an actress known for Two Broke Girls in WandaVision, is 39. Chris Evans from Captain America and Knives Out is 44. Ethan Embry, actor from Empire Records and Sweet Home Alabama, is 47. Stunt performer and TV personality known for Jackass, Steve-O, is 51. Weezer vocalist Rivers Cuomo celebrating a birthday. Sportscaster and ESPN anchor Hannah Storm is 63. Ali Sheedy from The Breakfast Club and War Games, St. Elmo's Fire, she's 63. Comedian and actor from Home Improvement, Tim Allen, is 72. Actor Richard Thomas is 74. Also turning 74, Stellan Skarsgård from Marvel films and Dune. And Malcolm McDowell, best known for A Clockwork Orange and Star Trek Generations, is 82 years young today.
Happy birthday!
And remembering Jimmy Dean, the sausage guy who passed away on this day in 2010. And also remembering Benji Gregory, who passed away on this day in 2024 at the age of 46. He was a television actor famous for his role as Brian Tanner on the popular 1980s series Alf. He also appeared on episodes of Punky Brewster, Murphy Brown, and Fantastic Max. And looking at movies released this day in 1962, Stanley Kubrick's Lolita. Rodney Dangerfield's Back to School released this day in 1986.
Say it! Tell it twice! Say it! Say it!
And just remember, the best thing about kids is making them.
The Incredible Hulk with Robert Downey Jr. and Ed Norton released this day in 2008. Hercules with Dwayne Johnson released this day in 2014. And also releasing in 2014, 22 Jump Street. Here's this day in music. In 1970, the Beatles started a 2-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with The Long and Winding Road, the group's 20th U.S. number 1. The album Let It Be started a 4-week run at number 1 on the U.S. albums charts on the same day. The 12th and final studio album by the Beatles was recorded in January 1969 before the recording and the release of Abbey Road. In 1975, Peter Frampton played the first of 2 nights at the Winterland Ballroom in San Francisco, California. Recordings from these 2 shows were used as part of his number 1 double album, Frampton Comes Alive. It became the best-selling album of 1976, selling over 6 million copies in the U.S., and Frampton Comes Alive was voted Album of the Year in the 1976 Rolling Stone Readers' Poll. It stayed on the chart for 97 weeks. In 1987, Whitney Houston started a 6-week run at number 1 on the UK albums charts with her second LP, Whitney. With this album, Houston set various records on the US charts. She became the first artist to debut at number 1 with an album and its first 4 singles, I Wanna Dance with Somebody, Didn't We Almost Have It All, So Emotional, and Where Do Broken Hearts Go all peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, making her the first female artist to achieve that feat. In 1992, Billy Ray Cyrus started a 17-week run at number 1 on the U.S. albums charts with Some Gave All. His debut album featured the worldwide breakthrough song Achy Breaky Heart, which was originally recorded as Don't Tell My Heart by the Marcy Brothers on their 1991 self-titled album. In 1995, Alanis Morissette released her studio album Jagged Little Pill. The album went on to sell over 30 million copies worldwide and made Morissette the first female Canadian to score a U.S. number 1 album. Jagged Little Pill features the massive hits You Oughta Know, Hand in My Pocket, Ironic, and You Learn. In 1998, during the Dave Matthews Band set at the Tibetan Freedom Concert in Washington, D.C.'s RFK Stadium, law student Lisa Selfin was struck by lightning. With the help from an off-duty paramedic, she was revived and eventually made a full recovery. The strike also injured 11 other people in the crowd. In 2000, 37-year-old Susan E. Santidonado collapsed and died of a heart attack outside New York radio station Star 105.7 after a Britney Spears impersonator left the building. A crowd had gathered after a DJ claimed Britney Spears was in the studio. Also in 2000, a roadie who worked with the Spice Girls, Oasis, Elton John, and Whitney Houston was arrested and charged with smuggling millions of pounds worth of ecstasy into the UK. On this day in 2003, the Arctic Monkeys made their live debut at the Grapes Pub in Sheffield, England. They received £27 from ticket sales. In 2005, Michael Jackson was cleared of all charges of child abuse by a jury of 8 women and 4 men at the end of a 16-week hearing in Santa Monica, California. Jackson was found not guilty of all 10 charges, including abusing a 13-year-old boy, conspiracy to kidnap, and supplying alcohol to a minor to assist with a felony. Coldplay's Viva La Vida released this day in 2008. And also in 2008, a Chicago jury acquitted R. Kelly of all 14 charges of child pornography against him. He was found not guilty of making an explicit sex tape with a girl as young as 13. Both Kelly and the alleged victim, then 23, denied they were the people shown on the tape. Kelly was later convicted and sentenced to serve 31 years in prison for sexual misconduct with minors, among other charges.
It happened on this day as if you cared.
All right, here's this day in history. In 1884, the world's first roller coaster opened at Coney Island in Brooklyn, New York. It was called the Gravity Pleasure Switchback Railway. The cars traveled at 6 miles an hour. In 1920, the United States Postal Service ruled that children may not be sent via parcel post. In 1966, the United States Supreme Court ruled in Miranda v. Arizona that the police must inform suspects of their rights before questioning them, hence the Miranda rights. In 1997, Michael Jordan scored 39 points as the Chicago Bulls beat the Utah Jazz 90-86 to win their 5th NBA championship in 7 years. On this day in 2005, a 17-year-old student was charged with battery after he threw up on his Spanish teacher. Witnesses told police the boy did it on purpose. A month later, the juvenile was convicted and sentenced to 4 months cleaning up vomit from police cars. In 2014, a water-embedded rock layer was found deep inside the Earth. The layer stores 3 times the water found in all the Earth's oceans. In 2018, a raccoon climbed a 25-story office building in St. Paul, Minnesota, becoming an internet sensation. And on this day in 2022, flooding at Yellowstone National Park swept away a bridge and washes out roads. Let's look at special events for today. It is International Axe Throwing Day. It's National Blame Someone Else Day. It's Blood Cancer Awareness Day. It's Community Association Managers Day. It's Cupcake Lovers Day. The Feast of St. Anthony. It's National Kitchen Klutzes of America Day. It is Marriage Day, Movie Night, Own Your Share of America Day, Random Acts of Light Day. It's Sewing Machine Day, it's International Skeptics Day, it's National Softball Day, it's Weed Your Garden Day, and it's Work Get Home Father's Day. It's also Friday the 13th.
Hello, my friends. This is Tony the Colombian. I come to tell you about my new hair salon, Tony the Colombian Hairstylist. I'm famous around the world for my techniques and services, and now Tony the Colombian services are available to you. Let me demonstrate how I give this guy a razor cut. My Colombian friends know that I always come through. My disciples and I are experts in Colombian manicures and scalp treatments. Now for a demonstration. First, Manuel softens the scalp with the phone book. Then we soak the hair in a special solution. Now, the hot oil treatment. Then we cut the hair. And finally, the iron. And while we've been cutting the hair, Pedro has done the manicure. See how nice he looks? Here, let me fix your tie. Tony the Colombian Hairstylist with salons in Medellin, Cartagena, Uganda, Managua, and other third world capitals. Call for an appointment today.
Don't be a dickhead. Don't be a dickhead. In the morning. ZachDeWack.com.
Here's some news. A popular AI tool, ChatGPT, suffered a worldwide outage this week. Yeah, dating app conversations suddenly became 90% less Shakespeare and 100% more, hey.
I think you're exactly right.
The president's big military parade won't be carried by most of the networks. The tanks will roll, but the ratings won't.
His brain is gone.
Research shows that if a person is hungry, they will buy more, even when it's not food items. So that explains why they sell lottery tickets at the same place they sell Doritos.
High five, high five, high five.
7 in 10 Americans say they have snacks with them at all times. Speaking of which, have I showed you guys my McNugget holster?
Don't mince words. What do you really think?
A study found that men may recover from the flu faster than women because their bodies contain a greater amount of protein that helps recovery. And I thought it was because men with the flu stayed in bed watching Netflix while women with the flu cooked, shopped, and did laundry.
You mustn't do this. It is an offense against God.
According to a study, 35% of designated drivers have had something to drink. The study found that they were in no position to drive, but were chosen by their friends simply because they were the ones still capable of correctly pronouncing designated.
We're going to have to shut you down.
It's crazy in Los Angeles. First, the president called out the National Guard, then the Marines. Does it take that many soldiers to protect a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? According to a study, fish can actually recognize you, which is why I can't eat at the Red Lobster. Shane, is that you? Is this how our friendship ends? You couldn't eat at Subway?
Oh, yeah.
In Germany, a man who stole a bike from beside a police station was arrested while trying to sell it to 2 plainclothes officers. The cops got suspicious when they noticed the man had bolt cutters sticking out of his jacket, and they recognized the bike as belonging to a fellow cop because the handlebars were modified to hold a dozen donuts. A study found that drivers are significantly more likely to die in a small car rather than a large one. In other overly obvious news, you're more likely to choke on a whole watermelon than a grape. Turns out robbing a bank may not be worth it. In addition to the likelihood that you'll get caught, you'll only make around $4,000 for the federal crime. Yes, but the free suckers are so worth it.
Oh my.
In a recent survey, 66% of men say they've cried during a movie. Yeah, ticket prices will do that to a person. And there you go. That's the news.
We got to wrap this program to bring you something really, really, really stupid.
Well, I've searched the interwebs far and wide, collected the dumbest news stories I can find, and I'm ready to share them with you. This is stupid news. Police in Holland ticketed a man caught speeding who said he was just trying to dry his car after he washed it. Hey, I do that. A 66-year-old grandmother in the UK was prosecuted for accidentally breaking her neighbor's garden gnome during a dispute over communal pathway access. Lorraine Hutton apologized and paid $20 for the damage, but her Lithuanian neighbor called the police anyway. The case went through a 15-month legal process, including 3 court appearances and a 3-hour trial, requiring an interpreter and psychiatric assessment. Hutton was ultimately found not guilty of criminal damage. A phone scammer in Korea called an elderly woman claiming to be her grandson in legal trouble, but he got so caught up in the conversation that he accidentally revealed his real name. When the woman asked follow-up questions about family memories, he panicked and started making up elaborate stories about relatives who don't exist. The woman, who was actually a retired police officer, kept him on the line for 45 minutes while tracing the call. He was arrested at the call center, still wearing a headset. A thief in Italy stole a painting from a small gallery but felt so guilty about separating it from its family that he returned the next night to steal the rest of the collection. He left apologetic notes explaining that the artwork would be happier together and promised to take good care of them. Gallery security caught him on his second trip back when he arrived with a moving van. Police found his apartment converted into a recreation of the original gallery. Police in Poland, responding to a call for a slumper in a car, came across a man who turned out to be very much alive. He was, however, very drunk. When police woke him, the man didn't beat around the bush when asked if he had been drinking. The man said yes, a lot. In the UK, a mother identified a dead man as her son and then spent nearly an hour saying a tearful goodbye before having him cremated. Police called the next day to say they had found her 39-year-old son alive. So who was the guy they thought was her son? They didn't know. In Argentina, a man went to the bank late on Friday afternoon to get something out of his safe deposit box. He had only been inside the vault for a few minutes when the lights went out. He assumed there was some kind of electrical problem, but after a few minutes in the dark, he started getting nervous. He cried out for help, but no one answered. Then he heard the heavy doors at the vault closing with a loud thud. He was locked in, and since the bank didn't have weekend business hours, he knew he was going to be there for a long time. On Monday, the bank security guard was surprised to see the man when he opened the vault. The man, who seemed no worse for the experience, explained that he had starved off hunger thanks to a bag of cookies he had brought with him. A woman in Spain had her 4-year-old granddaughter help her shoplift. Surveillance video recorded the woman taking items and having her granddaughter put them into a toy stroller. That's nice. A burglar was detained for breaking in and staying in unoccupied luxury homes in China. He was busted after he posted pictures online of himself hanging out inside these homes.
Here's your highly scientific and completely infallible and often inscrutable guaranteed horoscope for today.
And now it's the time you've all been waiting for. Here are the world-famous DeWack in the Morning horrible scopes for Friday, June the 13th, 2025, featuring broken mirrors, haunted toasters, and Jason Voorhees as your spirit guide. If today is your birthday, you are a Gemini. Double trouble, Gemini. You find a voodoo doll that looks oddly like you. It's labeled Do Not Shake. Naturally, you shake it. You spend the rest of the day sneezing glitter and forgetting your passwords.
Now that's just lovely.
Cancer Moonchild, you wear garlic to ward off evil spirits, but it only wards off your coworkers. A black cat crosses your path, stops, judges your outfit, and then saunters off. You suddenly crave tuna for no reason.
Holy cannoli.
Leo, you insist Friday the 13th is just another day, until your reflection winks at you after you've left the room. You end up doing a full exorcism with nothing but a hairdryer and a copy of Eat, Pray, Love.
Hold on to your panties.
Virgo, you made a to-do list to prevent disaster, but ironically, your pen exploded ink all over it. You try to fix your cursed feng shui only to find out your lucky plant is made of haunted plastic. It's whispering now.
And they think you're the one that's brainwashed.
Libra, you spend 3 hours debating whether breaking a mirror cancels out if it's already cracked. Meanwhile, a creepy doll appears on your doorstep. You name it Reginald, and it becomes your emotional support demon.
The walls are closing in.
Scorpio, you feel powerful on Friday the 13th. Too powerful, you accidentally summon the ghost of a Victorian dentist. He offers unsolicited opinions about your flossing habits. You accept the haunting. Honestly, it's cheaper than your HMO.
Try it free.
Sagittarius, you laugh in the face of superstition until your smartwatch begins chanting in Latin. You try to go on a spontaneous road trip, but your GPS reroutes you directly into a corn maze. You live there now. Send snacks.
Preposterous.
Capricorn, you calculate the odds of something unlucky happening at 6.66%. Your calculator catches fire. Boss cancels your big meeting, which feels lucky until you realize it's been rescheduled for Friday the 13th, 2026.
If it's too loud, you're too old.
Aquarius, you decide to perform a cleansing ritual involving incense, moon water, and accidentally setting your carpet on fire. A ghost pops out of your microwave to roast your TikTok dance skills. You gain 3 new followers, and 2 are from the afterlife.
If it's a severed head, I'm going to be very upset.
Pisces, you dream of a foggy lake, a hockey mask, and an ominous violin screech. You wake up to find your goldfish wearing a tiny machete. Your intuition is off the charts today. Unfortunately, it's tuned to the parallel universe where toasters feel emotions.
I am not apologizing.
Aries, you bravely walk under a ladder today, twice, just to prove a point. The point? You're cursed now. On the bright side, you'll finally get a day off from work due to a mysterious swarm of bats in your car. And finally, Taurus, you refuse to believe in bad luck even after spilling salt, opening an umbrella indoors, and dating a Gemini. You spend the day trying to manifest peace, but all you get is a raccoon in your pantry with a knife. Its name is Kevin now. You feed it grapes. And those are your official Dweck in the Morning horrible scopes. Remember?
Don't leave home without him.
You've been listening to the Always First, Never Last podcast with me, your doomsday host, the incredible, edible Mr. Zach Wackalina. You can connect with me at ZachDawack.com. That's ZACKDAWACK.com. You can find me on Facebook, X, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, Blue Sky, YouTube, Telepathy, Western Union, or call or text 984-DAWACK1. That's 984-329-2251. Like the show, follow us, or subscribe, and please share this show with your friends. Available to hear on my host, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and all other podcast apps, or at ZachDawack.com, if that's easier for you. Thank you to all the awesome wackos, weirdos, reverts, preverts, dingbats, and jelloheads anonymous for any and all listens you can give. It means a lot. I'm out of here like Vladimir. Until next time, and there will be a next time. Don't forget me, I won't forget you. I am Zach the Wack, saying if I'm lying, I'm dying. Grits ain't groceries, eggs ain't poultry, and Mona Lisa was a man. I'll be back Monday for another edition of the Dweck in the Morning show. I will talk to you then. Same whack time, same whack channel. Whack out.
Bye, buckaroos.
He was a hit in England. He's sold more records than Boxcar Willie. Now, you'll love to hear him sing rock, rap, and dance hit songs of today as Slim Whitman rocks. You'll hear Slim crank out hits like,
oh, loving an elevator, picking up when I'm going down, loving an elevator, feeling I'm up when I'm going down.
And wait till you hit the dance floor to this hot number.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Grease back your hair with Grecian Formula and put on a silly sport coat for Slim Whitman Rocks. Send $19.99 to 2029 Porter Wagner Lane, Nashville, Tennessee. Slim Whitman Rocks, only on Vice Grit Records.
Hey guys, throw out the Viagra and get rid of those implants, because you want all new Captain Jack's Rock Hard Erection Cream. If you're a guy that suffers from noodleitis, shrinky dink, or just whiff out when you're on deck, then you need Captain Jack's Rock Hard Erection Cream. You'll finally be able to get 3, 4, even 5 at-bats every night with Captain Jack's Rock Hard Erection Cream.
Here's an example.
We'll rub a little dab of Captain Jack's Rock Hard Erection Cream on this shriveled up worm. Look at that. This worm is so hard we can pound it through a 2x4. Just imagine what you'll be pounding through.
Oh, yes! Yes!
And Captain Jack's Rock Hard Erection Cream is shipped in a discreet brown paper bag, so your neighbors won't know you're a limp dick. Don't look like you just got out of the shower. Regain the vip and vigor that used to spring up when you were young with Captain Jack's Rock Hard Erection Cream.
Oh, yes! Yes!
No!
on Bimbo Records and Tapes, it's Bob Dylan Raps. Hear Bob rap all your favorite tunes from the 60s, 70s, and beyond. It's Bob Dylan like you've always loved him. Slow, stuttering, monotone, and boring. Don't delay, order it today. Bob Dylan Rap, special 2-record set on Bimbo Records and Tapes.
Finally, it's every overweight person's dream come true. A simple way to lose weight without dieting or exercising. Want to know more? Keep listening. It's the new Fat Patch. With the Fat Patch, there's no more dieting and silly exercises that don't work anyway. No guilt, no special food to buy, no expensive club memberships, no painful surgery. It's the new Fat Patch. Just place a Fat Patch on your stomach. Watch the Fat Patch fill up with your fat. Then just tear it off and throw it away. It's that simple. It's the new Fat Patch. Overblown hips? Slap on a Fat Patch. Dump truck sized butt? Slap on a Fat Patch. So grab another fudgesicle and eat like a pig. Then let the Fat Patch do the rest. Cause you're on your way to being skinny. It's the new Fat Patch.
The Fat Patch is perfect for people who don't want to diet. However, it may cause internal bleeding and uncontrollable bowel disorders.
It's the new Fat Patch.
From Tubbo Industries.
It's Friday the 13th.
George.